Hello everyone, myself Shailendra Bisaria. Today going to talk about metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor working principle. MOSFET, which is widely used in all day-to-day life in all devices. For example, we use mobile phones every time, we use laptops, computers or any other electronic device which we use. Everywhere we use MOSFET inside the device. These devices are made up of MOSFETs, a numerous number of MOSFET. So today we are going to talk about the basic working principle of this MOSFET. Here in this topic we will discuss the working principle of N-channel MOSFET. Okay, now first of all let's see how basically MOSFET looks like. MOSFET, if we see as a device, it comes in various shapes and sizes. Generally we see it as a 3-terminal device. If we see inside this MOSFET, the internal structure of this MOSFET, then in 3D view we can suppose that there is a substrate. Onto that there are two diffused regions of N types. That's why the name of this MOSFET is N-channel MOSFET. Onto these two diffused regions, we connect these two regions with the help of these two metal lines, and these two metal lines are called as drain and source terminal. In between of these two regions there is one small thin line which is called as oxide layer, and onto that this is used as connection for this third terminal, that is gate oxide. Let's say I have this duster. This duster I am assuming as the P substrate which we have seen in the diagram. This P substrate, onto this substrate, let's say this white line is the two diffused regions, and between the two diffused regions we, as I said, that there is one gate layer. So I put this thin oxide in between, and onto that there is the gate layer. Then we connect gate terminal from here, and one terminal this side, this is your drain terminal, and another one is the source terminal. This is the internal structure of the MOSFET. Now coming to the slides. Here we can see, as we have seen, that these are two diffused regions which are called as drain or source, and in between there is gate. Again see the same diagram in another view. Here I have just omitted one region, that is this outside region. This is actually the isolation region, just to isolate this one MOSFET from several other MOSFETs. So I have taken only that region which we are used to explain this working of this MOSFET. So in this next diagram I have omitted that isolating region. Here we see that the P substrate, onto this one diffused region this side, another diffused region this side, and in between above the gate oxide the metal or polysilicon layer is there to connect the gate electrode, and these two regions are source electrode and drain electrode. If we see the structure here from in between, then both sides are symmetrical. Since both sides are symmetrical, either of the terminal can be taken as source and drain. If this is source, then this will be taken as drain, and if this is taken as source, then this will be taken as drain. There will not be any change, no effect of this. And if we see here in this diagram, we see that flow of electricity is from this direction, from this drain terminal, from this N diffused region towards this N diffused region to this source terminal. Now we will see that how basically this electricity is flowing from drain to source terminal. One point to note here is that electricity is flowing from drain to source terminal, and actually the flow of electricity is opposite to the direction of the electron flow, and so the source is providing the electrons from here to this drain side, and the amount of electrons flow is equal to the amount of current flowing from here to this side. Now to understand the working of this model, let's say that we have these two diffused regions. Let's imagine that these two regions are two containers filled with water, here as shown, and these two regions are placed onto this wafer. So let's say that these two beakers are placed on a surface, let's say onto the ground. This wafer is just to support that. And initially, just imagine that these two regions are as these two containers. Now before proceeding further, let's leave this portion MOSFET for a few moments and let's discuss about these two beakers only. We have two beakers, there is no connection in between them. Will there be any flow of water from this to this side? It is not possible. Now if I say that I connect these two beakers with a pipe, let's see, either the pipe may be at the bottom side or the pipe may be from the upper side. But in any of the case, if I connect these two beakers with a pipe, will there be any flow of water from one to another beaker? No, because the level of water in this beaker is same as the level of water in this beaker in both the cases, and so the pressure is same at both points, here as well as here. So what can we do? That either we can empty one beaker, then the level of water will be less in this beaker than this beaker, or we may increase the height of one beaker in comparison to another. Let's see that if we have this picture, that means this beaker has less water than in comparison to this container, and it is at a height above the ground surface in comparison to this beaker. Then this container is having more height, and because of this height difference, the pressure will be created this side higher, and hence the water will flow from this to this container, and water will start flowing to equate the level in both the containers. Next, what will happen that if we will increase this height further? Let's see, if we increase this height further, then more water will flow from this pipe, from this container to this container, right? So that means that if we are increasing this height, the greater is the pressure, and hence more will be the water flow per unit time. That means if I increase more, the height will be more. Will that mean that water will flow at a higher speed? Yes, it is true, but up to a certain level. If we increase this height further from this to this, then this and further, then a certain level will come when the flow of water will be maximum through this pipe. Further, we cannot increase the flow of water through this pipe because of the maximum capacity of this pipe. Now not more water can flow per unit time from this pipe. Later on, if we increase the height, the flow of water per unit time will remain constant, right? So we call that this is the maximum height, and maximum water will flow at this moment. Now can we increase further the flow of water through this pipe? We have said that we have increased the height up to a maximum level. If we see the previous slides, then we can say that we have started from the point we are connecting these two containers with the help of a pipe, and then we are increasing the height of the pipe. So if we see this case, that means we have reached to a maximum level of the height. Up to this height we are increasing the flow. Now further increase in the flow of water is not possible, but we have one more thing rather than increasing this height. Another factor is what? Is this pipe itself. If we can take a pipe which is of higher width than this, a bigger pipe than this pipe, let's see this. If you have a broader pipe, then more water can flow at the same moment rather than the previous case. So that means there are two factors which are controlling the flow of water. One is the height, because when we are increasing, the flow of water is increasing, but when it reaches to the maximum capacity of this pipe, then flow of water is maximum. Further it will not increase by increasing the height. But further another factor is what? If we increase the width of the pipe, if we take bigger pipe, then more water can flow at the same moment with the same height. Now let's see the working of this MOSFET based on this water container analogy. Initially we assume that these two green diffused regions, that is drain and source terminals, are similar to these two water containers, and initially if we see here, they are separated onto this wafer, they are not connected with each other, right? This is the same case as these two beakers are. Now further what we do in the first step, that at this gate terminal we apply some voltage here. What happens that if we apply some positive voltage here, there is one gate oxide layer in between of these 2 points, which is metal electrode and P substrate, so it behaves like a capacitor, and because of the capacitive effect, if we apply positive voltage here, a negative voltage comes here, and negative voltage comes here means in this P substrate region, electrons of this region are attracted towards this plate and holes will be repelled. So a negative layer created here in between of the two, which work similar as the pipe in between the two. Let's see the second case, that what we are doing here, that we are connecting these two beakers with a pipe, right? So the same is the effect in this gate, that what we are doing, that we are applying a positive potential at the gate, so a negative charge is accumulating from the P substrate, minority carriers are coming to this region, and hence this N region and in between a N region is created. That means a channel is created. Similar to the pipe, there is a channel in between the two regions. There is a connection now. But as we know that here no water is flowing from one to another container, because there is no difference. Here we see that source and drain are at same potential. We have applied potential at gate, and hence we have created this channel. That means we have connected their two containers, but still current is not flowing from source to drain terminal. What we have to do, that what we did in container, we increased the height of container. That's why the flow starts from one to another. So similar to the height of the container, here we provide potential voltage in electric technology. So what we do here, that we apply some potential at this point. A negative potential is applied here and positive is applied here. We have connected these two terminals with a battery. So what will happen, since we have applied a negative potential, the negative charge carriers will be repelled from this side and they will be attracted towards this side. Negative charge carriers, that means electrons will flow from here to here, and the same number of electrons which will come to this point will be provided to the negative terminal of the battery and will come back here. Similar to the thing that here the water is flowing from here to here because of the greater height. When we are applying some potential, electrons are attracted and they will conduct the electricity in this path, right? So this is the second step, how basically electricity will flow from drain to source. Why? Because we are saying that electrons are flowing from source to drain, the direction of current is opposite, that means drain to source. Right. Now what was the next step here, that we increase the height further. We increase the height and hence there will be water flow with more water flow per unit time. So if we see this here in the previous case, what we have to do, we have to increase the potential at the terminals, right? Because we said that height is analogous to the potential in electronic technology. So what we do here is that, similar to this increasing the height, we are increasing the potential at the drain and source terminal. So when more positive potential is at drain terminal, more number of electrons than the previous case will be attracted towards the drain region, and hence more number of electrons will be provided from here to here, will come back here, and hence more current will flow in this region, right? As we say here that there is maximum capacity of this channel, and then after reaching to the maximum height, there will be maximum water flow. Similar, there is maximum capacity of this channel also. So when reaching to a maximum voltage, what will happen? Maximum potential, maximum current will flow, maximum number of electrons will flow here to here, and then further increase in current is not possible through this channel. Then what will happen? We said that we can increase by increasing the width by taking a bigger pipe. What is the meaning of bigger pipe in this technology in electronics? Here is that again we are increasing the potential, but here we are increasing the pipe, so here increasing the potential at gate terminal, right? So what we will do to increase the size of the pipe in this technology, what we say, that we will increase the potential at gate terminal, so the channel will be wider, more number of electrons can flow from source to drain region, and hence the electricity will further increase. Now just summarizing all the steps here, that what we did, that we considered drain and source as two containers, then we applied VGS, that is we connected a pipe, that means we created a channel in between the source and drain, then applied VDS, that is increasing the height similar to the containers, so applying VDS will start flow of current from drain to source or flow of electrons from source to drain. Then increasing VDS, when we increase the value of VDS, then more current will flow from here to here, more number of electrons will flow from source to drain side. And when we reach to a maximum level, then further we can increase the current if we can increase the VGS. Increasing VGS, that is increasing width of the pipe, that means increasing the channel will create more number of charge carriers, will force more number of charge carriers to flow towards positive terminal, and hence more current will flow at the same potential. That is shown here in this diagram, that initially if we say that VDS is 0, VDS is 0 volt or VGS is 0 volt. If we say VGS is 0 volt, that means this is 0 volt. That means in water technology there is no pipe connection. There is no connection of pipe between the two. Then whatever is the height, water cannot flow from here to here. Similar is the case here, that if VGS is 0, a channel will not be created between the two terminals, and hence there will not be any flow of current between the two regions. So this is shown here, that is called as cutoff region, that if VGS is 0 volt, there will not be any current flow. This is the current and this is your voltage. So if we are increasing the voltage VDS continuously at this terminal, current cannot flow because these two regions are not connected. Now if I say that I have applied some VGS, right, if VGS is equal to 1 volt, we have seen that with increasing VDS, the current will start increasing, then more number of electrons will flow from here to here when we will increase VDS. Then up to a certain height when it will reach, then what will happen? When maximum height will reach, then it will be no further increasing current is possible, right? So at a particular VGS, if we say that we are increasing VDS after this value, then increasing VDS will not affect ID, the current will remain constant. But at the same time, if we increase VGS, which is shown here, that if we increase VGS from 1 to 2 volt, at the same time the current for the same voltage, if we see that here it is, let us say 14 volt, at this VGS 1 volt the current is 5 ampere, 5 milliampere. Then if we increase the VGS at the same time, then the current will increase at 14 volt from 5 to 10 milliampere, which we have discussed in the last point. So this is the summarized characteristics. Now what are these ohmic regions and saturation regions, and why we have these three terminals only? Actually we have one more terminal, that is substrate terminal, and because of that we have some body effect also, and here again there is some change that is called as channel length modulation, which you will see later in the next section. Okay, thank you.